the threads that this bowl nut screws into, which secures the bowl to the body of the carburetor. Well, the threads in this cheap Chinese aluminum are completely stripped out. So I thought, well, I'm going to try to fix that. So I mixed up a broth of JB Weld and put it inside where the threads used to be. But first I had tried to re-tap it, but there was no metal left, wouldn't tap. So I let the JB Weld dry overnight, cured 24 hours, came in the next day with my tap, and I had the correct tap from this ancient set of taps and dies that I had bought at a tool show. Well, it wouldn't tap. The JB Weld there wasn't enough JB Weld or enough metal to hold anything. Well, that was a complete failure. So for my next trick, I decided, well, I'm just going to glob JB Weld all over this bowl nut, and I'm going to glue the bowl nut into the Venturi tube housing there. And if it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. So I mixed up another big batch of JB Weld. I put the bowl nut in. I hooked it in my vise here and squeezed it tight. Then I took JB Weld and welded the bowl nut to the bottom of the bowl, and I actually had it secured at one time with a cable tie. And I got it all put back together, and I'm sitting here thinking about this thing, all this JB Weld and this cable tie, and I'm thinking, is this what I want sitting out in my garage for a power outage? And this thing is running and vibrating, and it shakes all that JB Weld loose, and gasoline spills out, and it catches on fire and burns up the generator. Then it burns up my house. I don't think that's what I want to do. So I bought a brand new carburetor, which I'm now in the process of installing, and I'll show you that. This is kind of a challenge. I'm in the process of putting it all back together. The new carburetor's installed, the little electric motor and the float bowl solenoid, both of those plugged in exactly where the old ones were. Apparently this carburetor is an exact OEM carburetor, so everything fit on it. I've got the inverter back in place. I'm fooling with some of the plastics now, and this thing has got what apparently is a charcoal canister, and it's hooked up and got some tubes, and I need to run one of those to the air box. The gas tank is going to go back on, and then I'm going to put the battery in it. I had an issue with the battery that was leaking acid. I think it was overfilled, but it didn't leak at all last night, so I'm going to give the battery a try. Anyway, I'll turn you back on when I get it more put together. Well, we're about halfway together. I've got the battery in, the battery hooked up. The battery is not leaking. So let's walk around and see if this thing will turn this engine over. Battery on, lights on. And this is the starter. Yes, progress has been made. So, let's hook some gas and put some gas in it, secure the gas tank. The last thing we'll do is put all the plastics on it. I believe my battery's crapped out here. I'll tighten that one by hand. We'll proceed on. All right, we got the gas tank hooked up. And the battery's hooked up. Let's give it a spin, see if it'll start. Gas tank valve is pushed down to cover up the propane opening, which means now it's set to run on gas. Choke is out, battery's on. Let's see if we got anything. Hey. Contact. I like it. I like it. Well, now we'll see about putting it back together. As I said, it's nice to have a little hammer when you're putting these things back together. Make sure all these plastics get in the right spot. Sometimes they take a little persuasion. All right. That handle's there. We'll work on the back piece, a few other little small pieces. I think we'll be done here. turn you back on. It's about an hour later, and I can tell you, putting these plastic cases back together is worse than trying to extract the carburetor from this thing. I'm making a little progress, but I'm tired and I'm going in to watch the girls play basketball. So I'm going to end this video. The generator runs, and I'll probably do some tests on it before I send it back to Larry. But thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody. Don't volunteer to do this.